So this is kind of a pain, but it's not too bad. It's just kind of repetitive work over and over again. Surprisingly, the only rust area that has to be repaired on this whole thing is right there. You can see it. That metal missing right there. That's the only area that needs to be repaired. Everywhere else is fine. So I'm pretty stoked about that, considering the rest of the floor's condition and, you know, the age of this car, plus it's had a leaking sunroof its whole life. Luckily, you know, this car hasn't been out in the elements or driven in snow or rain for the past over 12 or 13 years at this point. So that's probably saved the car from any further damage. But what I did to get the floor out was I cut it from this corner of the wheel well to this corner, all straight across, and then popped this section out where the spare tire well was. And then I cut it straight down the middle to the cross member and then popped that out. And then I cheated a little bit because I don't have a right angle drill bit to get this box out for the control arm. So I just cut it straight across and a little bit into the steel of the wheel well here. And that allowed me to pop the rest of the floor out. So after I got that done, I decided to start on the rear floor. And what I did was I started drilling from the outside the control arm box and on the back side because I want to retain this cross member here from this car. I don't want to use the Evo one. So I need to get rid of this whole piece and then this whole side. And then what I plan to do is mark a line here and then to this corner right here across and cut this out over the floor. And then hopefully I can get all the welds to completely drill all the way through. That way I don't have to pry it and it will come out as one sheet without bending too much. And then once I do that, I'll have access in here to the areas I need to weld. So I plan to drill through them completely once I get this off. That way I can weld it to the car. And then once I trim that out and get both of those sides off and then trim all the excess steel that I don't need, I plan to send this to a blaster, a media blasting company. I tried to see if I can get one that a mobile style one to come to me because I don't have a truck, sadly. But I can just borrow one and bring it. But I was hoping that, you know, while they're here blasting, I could continue working on the car to get more stuff done. But sadly, this job is too small, apparently, because they usually like to blast full cars of some sort. This is only, you know, an eighth of a car, not even. So for the meantime, I think I'm going to call and see what kind of lead times they have and just bring this to one of those people. The other reason I wanted them to come media blast is when they blast this, they could also, I could take out the rest of my interior and plastic wrap it off and they can blast some of the areas so I don't have to sit here with a grinder on everything. But it looks like that's not going to happen. So it looks like some more manual labor, which is okay. Because I can only imagine the cost if you had to pay someone else to do this. So that's going to be the update for today. I'm going to work on it for some tomorrow. It won't be any of the car itself. Just going to keep hammering away on this thing here. Getting this ready. So I'll take another video of how far I get tomorrow. Tomorrow is a working day for me though, so I only get like 3 or 4 hours on it. But I've gotten pretty far. I got these two sides off and then all the welds in the backside are drilled out and then both these control arm boxes are drilled out too. And I did that in less than an hour, so should be able to get pretty far. The whole goal is the trick is to not mangle it up too bad when you're removing the steel. You want it to be pretty close to where you want it. And then my goal to put it back in the car once it's all done, I plan to just use a bunch of self-tapping screws and then I'll weld the holes shut from the screws once I'm done. I'll take them all out. You'll be surprised how many you need. Like 4 or 5 clamps, and then probably like three screws here, like 1, 2, 3, 4 here, probably like 5 or 6 on the back side. It's not a lot, and like I said, it doesn't weigh a lot either. It's it's literally light. I would say it's lighter than a door with glass in it, to be honest. So it's crazy how little the car weighs in sections. So that's an update. That's all I got for this update. I'll see everyone in the next one.